Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the final game of this lower bracket series. And spawning in the top position on Prime Terraces as the blue Zerg player. Clawing his way back to a final game, can he finish his opponent off? It is SortOf. His opponent spawns in the bottom position as the red Terran player representing Millennium. Can he swing the momentum back in his favor just for one game and bring himself to the lower bracket round of 4? It's Dayshi. Exciting times ahead. We've actually had two, possibly 3 series that have gone to a game number 5 if you include the series where we hopped in game number 5. So there have been some pretty exciting and pretty close matches so far. This is, of course, the WCS Regional Championships. We're basically qualifying for 2 places in the WCS Circuit Winter Championship. And we do that by inviting the top 16 in ladder to a double elimination tournament. And this is what that tournament is. So the guy from the winner bracket and the guy from the lower bracket that make their way through the gauntlet here will qualify for that offline event in Katowice. So we'll see who ends up qualifying tomorrow. Of course, it is a 2-day event. So the winners brackets finals, as well as lower bracket round 4 onwards, will be played tomorrow. So stay tuned for those games. And it looks like we have a second barracks being hidden here by Dayshi to go ahead and plonk that extra reaperage in game number 5. So doing a little bit of unexpected shenanigans here is our Terran player. And maybe the reason for that is because he knows that SortOf will go hatch first when it's effectively relatively easy to defend natural expansion that's now a gold. Because don't forget, on Prime Terraces, this used to be a gold and this used to be blue. It's now the other way around, and we are already mining from the gold base. So we have a reasonable amount of Reaper, and I just realized, actually, this is basically glass. Like, if you detonate a nuke on that, does the command center just fall through? I really wish the mechanics would do that. That would be amazing. Right. So we have Reaperage just being very, very annoying in the main base. Is he going to continue to produce Reapers non-stop 2 at a time? To get to a point where he can overwhelm this natural expansion? I feel like that could end up being a really, really good plan here for Dayshi. So far in this entire series, SortOf has only ever seen 1 Reaper. This will be the first time he sees more than 1. He sees 3 coming up, and all of a sudden he's thinking, hang on a second, this could actually be problematic. Oh dear, all 3 Reapers completely whiffing their grenades there. But now there's an awful lot of damage to be done. And the Zerglings are starting to go down. We have more Queens being produced, though. That is absolutely the counter to this sort of situation. And here comes Reaper number 4. I don't know why he's putting all the grenades in the same position, though. He really should be spreading them out a bit more to maximize the effectiveness. But either way, this is a pretty strong attack right now. And is he going to be going against the gold base is kind of what I want to know. Because there's only 1 queen there right now. I'm a little bit surprised that that hasn't been attacked at all, because this income advantage for SortOf is going to start growing until until about now, to be fair. And it looks like, oh dear, this supply depot going down. I like the idea of walling this off in the meantime, but these Zerglings picked off a supply depot, picked off a bunker, and this counterattack is extremely strong. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. All but 4 of the Zerglings now die, but that might have been a little bit of punishment to say, actually, Dayshi, I don't think you can quite get away with that. You needed to have built more than 5% off the supply depot for me not to get through, mate. And a little bit of punishment there from SortOf means that Dayshi has indeed lost a fair bit now in terms of defending that natural expansion. So if we take a look at the work account, it's 29-35 in favor of SortOf. And SortOf is marginally mining more minerals at the moment. And he has had that gold base for longer as well. But there are 5 Reapers here trying to do a little bit of reaping. And again, three bombs in the same location. I guess he can stack the damage, but the problem is you are just comfortably avoiding the damage by walking away. So you miss with 1 and you then guarantee you miss with all 3. So for that reason, I prefer to stagger them out. But at the moment, Daishi's doing a good amount of harassment. He might want to pick off a queen or 2. That would be ideal. He needs to force the roaches. There we go. That multi-bomb, I think, hit more than once. But he isn't really sort of closing the deal, to be perfectly honest. We have the third command center going down behind this as well, and an engineering bay. And note, we have got 2 medevacs on the field and no banshees, even though we have, even though we still have a tech lab because it was never swapped on or off of anything. Stim is about to complete. We have a double drop going up into the main base, and we actually have Reaper support here now as well. So Dayshi combining his early harassment with a much stronger army composition here, and this could be a really good timing attack. It's at 5 minutes 45 seconds, and I don't think SortOf is prepared for this at all. He was ready to deal with the Reapers, but there's a good amount of DPS in these Marines, and actually everything gets picked up in the medevacs and flies away, but he does a good amount of damage. 4 work is killed for Dayshi so far this game, and counting. And these Reapers in medevacs are not something you see very often, to be honest. Oh no, and the Queen nearly makes a number on that, but the third base will go down. Oh, these Overlords popping up are going to be huge, because 4 Overlords dying might supply block. So he doesn't actually get supply block. He's still out of 100, so that was a lot more Overlords than perhaps he needed. But really, stimming into the gold base where nothing is there is slightly controversial. There's a drone. And let's see how much damage these guys can take. Eating those Ravager shots was not part of the game plan, Dayshi. But SortOf doing a good job defending so far. Considering he's lost the space, he needs to constantly ferry between the main and natural to make sure that that is all that Dayshi can get his hands on. And right now, this is looking reasonably good, to be honest. We'll see if Dayshi can do any extra damage. He needs to pick up and move away. Oh god, he did that only in the nick of time. That was really difficult there. Another Overlord scouting will get taken down, and this time it does supply block SortOf, so he's having a little bit of difficulty keeping on top of everything at the moment. He's got 3 Overlords in production, but staying on 93 supply for a while is definitely going to help Dayshi. He's got his third base up though, and his third base is at the 2nd gold. So as much damage as Dayshi does this time, please bear in mind that with the extra income from the gold, SortOf can easily compensate for this. It is definitely not Dayshi getting into a winning position just yet, but that said, you know, being supply advantage against the Zerg is always useful. Always useful. So we have attacks on 2 fronts now. This drop is going to do approximately nil. That's not entirely unexpected, and I think the armies are going to meet up, because this is getting... Well, how many? We've got 4 Marines and 2 Reapers here, which I guess is a non-zero amount of units, but it can't do any sort of realistic amount of damage, and I expect him to just move away. And there are also 6 Marines here, now 5. Ooh! That was a bit dramatic in the death, but Dayshi needs to start thinking about reuniting his armies, refilling his medevacs that he's using to harass. He's doing some really good work, but he can't continue on only those original units. He has to bring more into the fight. Back at home, we also have SortOf going for the infestation pit. You can see the gold base nearly mined out already, even though these high-yield minerals are here. Of course, they do get mined out that much faster as well. And Dayshi continuing to try and pull SortOf in all sorts of directions. He's saying, excuse me, mate, I don't think you still remember this drop, but it's definitely here. And he's moving back into the main base now as well. I mean, if he kills off all these Overlords, that would be pretty brilliant, but I doubt SortOf will have that. And now we have the main fight here, dodging all of those Ravager shots to begin with. As a result, this drop's currently getting completely unchecked, but there are now actually more Roaches than Marines, so I'm not going to bother looking at that too much more. This Siege Tank here doing a good amount of damage, gets picked up last second by the medevac there, and these Marauders are doing a fantastic job kiting back these Roaches. Really good job, actually, and Dayshi is doing so much with so little right now. Really impressive play. But his army will eventually disintegrate. The army supplies are currently 69 to 63, so SortOf with a mild advantage. Wow, this Marine. Okay, this Marine. Super strong. Rambo Marine. Unfortunately, doesn't make it out alive this time around. And now we have the 4th base getting taken by Dayshi, just making that command center at the moment. Notice how he's got nothing on the gold. He's taking the forward third. It's a little bit easier to defend. And to be fair, SortOf, well, not quite the best example of it being easier to defend, considering this hatchery has just been such a huge target. But this gold has been mining reasonably happily. Now we have Roaches and Ravagers coming in to try and counteract this force popping in here now. Dayshi may be thinking that it was undefended. Unfortunately, he's going to be wrong when he sees that right now. And this will all get completely cleaned up. Very, very nice there. That siege tank does go down. That siege tank did such a good job, actually. It was picked up by the medevac, what, 2 or 3 times? Relocated every single time it did. It took about 2 or 3 kills. It was really good. But now Dayshi is going to have to pull back. Supply is currently 145 to 120 in favor of SortOf. But if he overextends here, that could actually change dramatically. All of the Ravagers go down. Stimpfire with a good number of medevacs now pushing him back onto creep, and the supplies all of a sudden are quite even, picking off a couple of creep trimmers out towards the center of the map as well to limit the growth, I guess, of the territory SortOf can compete on. Very, very nicely done there. And now he's moving up into the gold base. SortOf is going to be forced to engage. A lot of this bio is actually on orange and red health. It's being a little bit overstimmed, and I don't think he can survive this. He does pick off the hatchery, but he's going to have to back out straight away because he knows he doesn't have the hit points available to fight against this sort of army. More command centers from Dayshi going down now. We are going to be flowing them over to the gold base finally. Is this actually going to be a really good move for Dayshi? Because the gold bases were taken so much earlier by SortOf that this is going to be the part of the game where Dayshi actually has the increased mineral income from the gold bases kicking in. So he might be able to sort of spring his way to 200 supply. We'll wait and see, but it can definitely be of huge use to the Terran player here. And he's got 3-3 on the way as well, so this might actually line up with a nice attack. Previously, we've had SortOf ahead on upgrades the entire time. They're on equal upgrades right now, but the earlier 3-3 definitely goes to Dayshi. So he has potential to run a little bit of a timing in a couple of minutes' time. Oh, also, good fungal is good. Oh, deadly fungal is deadly. And that cleans up that. But we have another drop coming over here trying to force the cancel. And we need to not be targeting roaches if you want to force the cancel there. Oh, very nice. At least gets the infester. But all of these units are going to die out. The medevac looking like it's being donated to an infester. No, he is actually going to be moving out. Cool. More creep getting spread towards the middle. Don't forget, Dayshi has been clearing this all day long from SortOf. And now more attacks against extra bases the SortOf is pulling out. We've got Liberators now out in this game, and we haven't actually had them to date. One Marine gets saved from that. Whoopsie daisy. So double Liberator production now from Dayshi, looking to get a little bit more aggressive. We have a couple of Zerglings scouting this planetary fortress, and by scouting I mean getting their carcasses thrown tens of feet, because why the heck not? And now 3-3 is nearly complete for Dayshi. I feel like he might be able to make a push. He's on 150 supply at the moment. He's got that gold base. He is getting this extra base in the middle location as well. Being very, very strong right now. This bunch of roaches being extremely annoying, and Daishi's deciding actually bunkers shouldn't be used. Bunker? One time? Okay, there we go. Yay, we have units! And the bunker actually might get taken down as well. That's quite amusing. A little bit of multitasking going on because, of course, we have the drop going on over here as well. That is going to get cleaned up, that little roach counter pressure. And this drop, oh, he could actually just drop back exactly the same place. And I think SortOf realizes that as well, which is why the roaches have decided to stick around for a little while. A couple of units here, there, and everywhere just getting fungled non-stop, actually. These two medevacs will successfully get taken out by those infestors. Always a worry when you have infestors hanging around. And it looks like this base is going to try and get cancelled as well, but there are enough units moving up behind that won't be possible. What else is left for Dayshi? He has the one medevac over here with units, but, oh, well, it's one roach on guard duty, so I guess technically that could get some damage done. You might be able to pick off some of the drones before they get repelled. I don't think they'd be able to pick off the hatchery. That would be pretty impressive. Nice fungal plus Ravager shots on that Liberator. He's actually still comfortably within range of this one, managing to pick that off as well. Excellent fungal growth from SortOf. And Dayshi, he has nowhere to run right now. All but one of the medevacs go down there. Do we have a simultaneous attack elsewhere? Here comes the rest of that drop over here on the left-hand side. Just the one roach. Here comes the guard. The guard will get taken out very quickly now. How much damage can he get done? Is he trying to kick off the hatch, or is he trying to kill individual workers? It looks like he's killing as many workers as he can. I agree with that decision. A couple of links coming up here will get cleaned up by Bio, and here comes the rest of the army. Workers killed so far this game, 21-3 in favor of Dayshi. He's currently at 129 versus 139 supply. So again, a bit of a scrappy affair. We're never really getting up to full supply. Both of these players just at each other's throats non-stop. Dayshi coming here for the 2 o'clock base as well, being very, very aggressive, and sort of looking to try and put a bit of pressure on, maybe not the high ground here, but certainly somewhere off to the side. And now this phase, oh, so close. No, he will get it if he targets it down. He does target it down. He needs to lift them into the medevac, or he needs to let them die a horrible death. He's going to choose to let them die a horrible death. And as a result, we have got this attack on the left-hand side as well. Ooh, good Ravager shots against that medevac there. Strong showing for SortOf there. Less strong over here. All good. 22 workers killed. And the army, once again, is coming back. So we're slowly getting towards a potential split map situation. We will see. Dayshi now just clearing out some creep around the middle of the map. Running out of time on that scan for those last couple of creep chewers, but successfully does it. Now clearing out some more creep chewers, and he's going, oh god, it's not just creep chewers that are hanging around here. No sir, it is not. Oh wow. Upgraded Zerglings, folks. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. They're good enough that these SCVs have no chance in hell. But luckily, a couple of Marauders and Marines will be able to clean that up now. Ultralisk for SortOf. He only has +2 attack, but has got +3 armor for his units at the moment. In the meantime, Dayshi already up to 3-3, being very mobile with his drops in this game. I kind of want to find out what SortOf's game plan is, because it is still just the 2 ultras with this army. And oh god, no! Don't stand infestors in the nuke. That's going to be painful. Nukes coming down from our Terran player right now. Looks like the ghosts actually get taken out as well. EMP whiffing, actually missing on quite a lot of those infestors, trying to pick off the energy. Not able to do so. This hatchery is getting targeted down, but it will get saved by the looks of things. Oh, and we have the rest of the army over here. So SortOf is holding on to this 12 o'clock base right now. The infestors, so like at least 3 of them actually get targeted down right now. Good fungal growth against a lot of the ghosts on the right hand side, but the bio DPS is just really, really huge. A lot of the infestors got taken out early on in this engagement, and Dayshi is making huge inroads here. He does it by a scoreline of 3-2. Millennium's Dayshi advances to the lower bracket round 4 over SortOf.